Ricardo, very nice to meet you.
Hey, very nice to meet you, Joseph.
It's a pleasure to be here with you and to be in Mexico and doing this with you.
Oh man, no, it's my pleasure. Finally, meet
finally.
you, and thank you for inviting me to do this.
Yeah, my pleasure, our pleasure.
Thank you, man.
I wanted to ask you a question. So what is one of your first memories with music? Maybe a party you played at, or when one of the first experiences you have with music?
Music in general.
In general, yes.
Oh man, I grew up in when I was like maybe 10.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the 80s music, the synth pop from the 80s, or the pop, and I used to buy, like here in Mexico, the piracy has been forever. So I used to buy the cassettes, the mixtapes, in these places called tianguis, which is like a little market that they move most of the time. They work only on weekends, and I used to buy these mixtapes from music from the 80s, and for me it was like, oh, it was the best, because I used to actually draw in, like, I don't know, for example, if it was in the tape, it was Tarzan Boy, a track that I like. I kind of like draw the Tarzan and everything like that. It was so fun. It really was a starting point, a big starting point for me in music. Mm-hmm. From there, I'm like, oh, I love this,
Yeah. And then from there, so you were 10, you said you were about 10 years old.
About 10 years old, yes.
How did you transition to techno, to the music you do today?
To be honest, it was many years later.
Yeah.
Many years later. And I started getting the taste for more electronic music because of house.
Yeah.
I used to live in Florida, in Orlando, and a friend of mine, it was a big house fan. Mm-hmm. So he just showed me, some CDs, and I love house in the moment. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This is nice. Even when in the 90s, I also love house, but I didn't know it was house,
Yeah.
Like you listen in the radio or more popular tracks in house. Mm-hmm. Let's say Robin S. I used to like it, but I didn't know it was house. But when I met this friend and he showed me house, I was like, oh wow, this is really good. Right after that, other friend was like, oh, you should listen to this.
Yeah. And
he showed me techno, showed me Jeff Mills and Richie Hawtin and even Adam Beyer back then,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is nice. This is like the dark side of house, But I like it. I like it so much. Yes.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is Joseph. Quick message, because I'm just back from Mexico City. I was there, we shot some interviews, and we were hosted by Luz Blues. Luz Blues is a venue, cocktail bar, tattoo shop, clothes shop, and is run by amazing people who have been kind enough to host us while we shoot the interviews. I highly recommend you check them out. We will leave the links in the description to their Instagram. If you're ever in town and you want to visit, you're looking for a good cocktail or for a nice bar, absolutely recommend you go and check them out. I was also lucky to play there a couple of times, and I always had a blast. So thank you, and see you back in the show. Super cool. And when I was researching your I read the interviews you released before, and I think there was something interesting about your label Illegal Alien. And you say before it was a platform that was very diverse for different types of music, including house. You did also minimal techno. You started very early in the 2007,
2007, yes.
Yeah. And at that time, you actually were doing also producing house?
Yes, actually, the first release I had, it was more like a house EP.
Yeah.
Not too housey, but yeah.
Yeah.
And it was on a label from Miami. It used to is closed already. The owner passed away a few years ago. It was called Southside. But it was a big thing in Miami. It was a very good label. Like, the whole Miami house movement played the label music, like Oscar G from Club Space, and it was a big thing. And when he signed my first EP, I was so super excited. And but it was little more house. It's some beatport. It was never released on vinyl.
Okay.
It's a beatport, but
under Ricardo Garduno.
Yes, under Ricardo Garduno.
When you re-listen to that track now, how do you feel about it, or that EP?
No, look, I never regret. As a producer, of course, there's music that you release and like, oh, how I released this, but it's all process. I think it's all about the process, and it's actually special. That first release is special. The other day, actually, a few months ago, I just listened to it, and I'm like, oh, this sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was a slower BPM, but it was like, oh, this sounds really cool. I don't remember how I did it, but it sounded really cool. But yeah, it's always special. I don't,
because of what it means to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was the first one.
Yeah,
I think it was like 2007, something like that.
Yeah,
because I'm not like I'm more a new generation of producer or DJ. Because already sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I started this since the 90s.
Earlier, even.
But I know I started like in 2005. Just when I started learning how to produce and do my first tracks that never were released. But yeah.
Were you DJing before? So DJing for you came before producing?
No, I produced before I
before
DJ.
DJing.
Yeah.
And DJing became like something to actually play your music out after.
Not in the beginning, to be honest, because as I think we all know this, is when you start making music, in the beginning you don't play your own tracks.
Yeah.
It happens.
You don't feel comfortable.
Especially back then, I'm like, no, I don't think it's. Maybe I did a few times.
Yeah.
But then you realize, oh my God, sounds bad.
Yeah.
And more in the mixing, But no, I started producing before I DJ. And I remember, because I went to school in Florida to start, they teach how to produce, but not electronic music. It was just audio engineer,
Sure. Yeah.
So in my class, it was a small school. In my class, we were only 3 students. One, it was a reggaeton guy. The other one was a hip hop. And me, I wanted to do electronic music.
Yeah.
So the teacher, nobody was into electronic, But it was good for me because I learned how to use the DAW, They teach me how to use the DAW, the basic stuff, So, and I remember I told the teacher, like the professor, I said, hey, I want to get into the DJ. Like, you should. But I'm afraid, man. It's like, no, you should do it. Play your own music. It's easy. It's easy. It's just practice. All right, we'll try. And that's how I started.
Yeah.
DJ.
Which is, imagine like if the person, maybe the teacher didn't tell you that thing, like at that time, like didn't help you, support you.
No.
Who knows? Maybe you would have never started DJing.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Or you would have started 10 years later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that moment was,
yeah.
You're like, oh, just do it. It's easy.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I will try. So I
Yeah.
buy my first, but I start meeting people in the DJ scene, good friends, and I remember this friend. He invited me over his house, and he started playing records. But he was a lot back then into tech trance, and he was my first DJing thing was with him, But it was crazy because he used to beat match with the hi-hats only. And I'm like, not the kick. No. It's like, no, the hi-hats. Crazy, right? Like mix with the beat match with the hi-hats.
Yeah.
Like ear with the hi-hats only. It was crazy. was good. It was really good DJ.
Where was he DJing with different kinds of music, or it was club music?
No, club music.
Yeah.
Club music. Yeah, he was my first mentor.
Yeah.
And then another friend was my roommate. He also the one who showed me house. He bought this CDJ console. The one that has the little
Rotary.
yes, exactly.
Knobs. Yeah.
And the CD came out like this. The little console like this.
Yeah.
So I start also playing there, and yeah, it was it was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, and then you got more and more into music, also DJing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Then I bought my CD players, and and it was knocking doors in the local scene.
Yeah.
And there's few people that I'm really thankful, because I think it's everywhere. When you're new in the scene and they already have a scene of DJs, strong DJs, it's hard they let you in.
Yeah.
You have to be good, and there's few people that give me a hand in Orlando when I started. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think people say it takes a village, to make it. It takes a lot of people to support you in your journey. You're not alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, when you think about a track that is particularly inspiring for you, that could be one of your tracks or for someone else, what do you think? Actually, can you think about a track that is particularly inspiring for you?
A track that what?
A track that is inspiring for you.
That inspires me? A track? Oh my God. In techno.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, techno.
Oh. Well, I always think that the bells is something that mark everybody, in the industry. Oh my God, I was like these scenes.
Yeah.
The scenes, the everything. So those always are the
yeah.
That was the real techno. I think the leads. I think techno sometimes are respected and became too dark.
Right now.
No, some for periods, I guess, but man, techno is all about the leads too.
Yeah.
About the synths, about the leads, about even if it's more like hypnotic but the lead is that you remember from the track. I think that's the most important.
What makes it special for you? So you mentioned the lead, like kind of the vibe, the emotions. Does that feel right? Yeah.
Emotions. Yes, I think leads, emotions, melodies, the groove.
Yeah.
But not necessarily. People think when you talk about groove, think it's all about the percussion. And I don't think it's about the percussion. Of course. But it's about this swing, the vibe of a track. It could be a deep tune, but it has a groovy bass line or synth or everything mixed up, make this, swing and this vibe, this groove that moves you, know.
Like Michael Jackson would put a snare a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
exactly.
Another track that for me has a very interesting groove, I think, is on the hi-hat is I think is I Feel It Deep by Ben Sims. This Feel It Deep, and has this immediately recognizable hi-hats.
Yes, totally.
It's super interesting, and that for me that's groove as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not necessarily need to be a thumb.
Yeah.
Who gives you the,
Yeah.
Because many elements could give you a groove.
Yeah.
And I think that's I like a good track. For me, it definitely has to have groove. The leads who make you, like the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good track for me.
When you think about your own production, how do you make sure you bring maybe the groove or this kind of emotional elements to your tracks?
Oh, it's just by ear.
Mm-hmm.
I just go there. I never know what I'm gonna do. Most of the times.
Yeah.
I just start something, and see where it goes.
Uh-huh. Tell me more about your process. You sit down in your studio, you jam.
Yeah, I just sit down and I try different things.
Yeah.
I just try. Sometimes it becomes too mainstream. I'm like, ooh, what is this?
Yeah.
So, but sometimes that little thing they make, to mainstream, you twitch it and boom, it becomes something
Yeah.
perfect, let's say for an underground,
Yeah.
Techno sound, and but yeah, I just go there and I try different things. And sometimes it's too deep, or sometimes become very groovy, or some, that's why I start doing few alias, because I'm like, oh my God, yeah, Jesse like some months ago,
Yeah.
and it's more for like maybe like a faster, groovy sound,
Yeah.
more toolish, vocal sampling,
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about Jesse because it's relatively new alias for you, a new project, let's say.
Uh-huh.
Did you start it because you wanted to? So did you do it for yourself because you wanted to split the two and feel more free, or is also to help people who follow you as Ricardo Garduno to not confuse that with the Jesse, with the new stuff?
I think over the years, people already know that I'm a more versatile techno producer.
Yeah.
Because I've done different lines in techno, different sounds. But I also think that I get to the point that like I think I need to start separating, a little bit, because sometimes I release an EP is too groovy, and then the other one it was more deep and more mental, and so I get like to this point where I'm like, no, I think I'm gonna start. I need to separate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To not confuse the audience.
Not confused. Like for example, like for many years, Mac Broom, so versatile producer. He can do anything,
Yeah.
So, but I think I'm like, no, I think I need to stop. I need to start separating. So I let Ricardo sound is more like a more normal techno, let's say like that, like the real one.
Yeah.
Not real one, sorry, I don't want to. But the sound that pushed me to the sound,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then now with Jesse, focus on the faster, tooly sampling,
Yeah.
approach. I have another project that I haven't released yet. I'm working on with few labels, working on the projects. I mean, they say yes, but we're putting together the music for the old me on the more deep and mental approach.
Yeah.
But soon. It's not done yet.
That's a third project, or?
That's a third project, yes.
It's not announced yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. Yeah. So, but I'm excited because putting this together with a couple of really nice labels.
Very cool.
So I'm excited too.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like more mental
Yeah.
and this sound more deep and slower.
Yeah.
So yes.
Do now that you have, let's say, two alias, maybe a third one coming up, how do you feel different when you produce as Jesse compared to when you produce as Ricardo Garduno?
I enjoy everything. It's just like for example, when I start working,
You don't know who is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So whatever it takes me,
Yeah.
I say, oh, this is going to be for this project, or this is going to be for Jesse, or this is going to be mine. That's what I do. It's not like, oh well, of course, when you need to deliver a project to somebody, I focus on that sound.
Yes.
But most of the time is let's see what what sound goes.
It's an interesting approach, and I want to ask you, how do you make sure that you can be inspired, or you can have the right mind space when you sit down in front of whatever your studio and you start producing?
Well, man, it's just like sometimes you're not.
Yeah.
Because I focus also on the label a lot, and I enjoy it. I enjoy so much working on the label, like listening to demos or yes, everything. Because I also do the artwork design for the label. I love so much designing. the cover arts for the vinyls or for the digital line. I enjoy it. So I'm like, I don't get too saturated on producing because I mixed up let's say my brain is for periods. I do this, and then music. So when I come back to music, it's like, oh, I'm excited that tomorrow I will do studio time,
Yeah.
And most of the time it's just like, good, flows. And when it's not the day, you try and try and try. Don't force. I don't force it,
don't?
I leave it. Okay, I say maybe tomorrow I get more ideas, but I go back to maybe do a artwork design, Yeah, I don't struggle much because I have
Other projects that
other projects that
they're still creative. It seems like you enjoy also the creative part of selecting the music.
exactly
creating the artwork.
like let me breathe, and so everything that I do is always like I'm inspired to, like I'm excited, like, oh, I'm doing artwork design today. And, oh, I start doing my thing, and when I do the music, same thing. So
You get inspiration by doing, for example, it seems you also get inspiration by yourself making music or working on the artwork that inspires you already.
yeah. What was the question, sorry?
No. So I'm asking whether you get inspiration from your actions. So you actually start working on artwork and then inspires you. To do
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, this is. I love it. I love do everything.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love my job.
It's great to know.
Yeah, I love DJing too. But I DJ more for periods, not every weekend. But I love everything I do. Everything from the label. Like listening to demos sometimes is like when you get good music, it's like your own music.
Yeah.
Or like, oh wow, I'm gonna release this on my label. It's excited too.
Yeah. It's a discovery. It's a new.
Yes, and oh man, I love new artists. I had the fortune to release on the label many great legends, and they support me, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
But when you get these new artists, and not that you discover, but the they young and new, oh my God, man, it's amazing to be the first ones support these new artists. I've done that for a while, and it's always like not like mission accomplished, but when I see them doing so good, I'm like, oh man, it's nice. It's nice that I was one of the first labels who
discover the artist.
Yeah, support him, and now they're doing great.
Yeah, it makes you proud. It makes you excited also.
Yes. There's few that I'm super happy for them.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel good that I was part of their story.
Yeah.
So I keep doing this. There's some really nice for this year upcoming artists too that I have lined up, and always excited. It's not never always about. For me, the label is not about if you're gonna make money or not, or if it's gonna be like a chart EP or a chart track. I don't do this for the charts. Let's say, if it's interesting, the music, if it's interesting, that's all I need. If it's good music, interesting, that moves me, that's all I need. And when it comes from new artists, also even better.
Yeah. How do you judge a track? Whether it's you get a demo, for example, for someone.
Yes.
You never listened to the music before, so it's a new artist for you. How do you judge? How do you know if it's interesting?
The first of the sounds. If the sounds are interesting, it has some leads, and the dynamic of the track it's complex. Like you see they will really work on it, and pretty much that the production skills. You notice when somebody's good doing, and it not necessarily needs to be this is a a hard track because it moves, you know. No, just give you an example. I have a piece from a young guy called Hard Drum. He sent me this music a few months ago, and he sent me like let's say 6 tracks, and the 6 tracks are different, all they different, and especially one, it blew my mind.
Wow.
It blew my mind. It was like different. It has this melody lead, and I'm like, oh my God, what's this? And I said, hey man, I love the music you sent me. Let's do a release. And he agreed to it. And oh man, I just can't wait to release it. And people to I've been playing the track actually a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole EP is not even, you know, like let's say 2 or 3 of the tracks, not too playable, you know, for dance floor or groovy track like, you know, right now.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the production is amazing.
Yeah.
And actually, it's crazy because I signed him. And he only had 1 track released before, and weeks later, he just had a release on Truncate.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, good. Super happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for him, and he's really good. And there's a few more like that, and so yeah, for me, the tracks, I judge a track by the production, the complex of the production.
Yes,
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see that they put a lot of effort to do it. You know, it's not just put things together and that's it. You know.
Yeah. You seem very focused on like your how the production. You mentioned the quality of the track, and do you ever think about the response of the public? So what is going to be the response? Does that matter to you?
No, not really.
No.
Not really. I don't think it's selfish, but it's just that I take what I like.
Yes.
And what I think people will like too. You know, we all know that you won't please everybody. You know, with what you do and anything. But when I sign a track or an EP, it's because I like it, and I think, you know, myself, that some people will like it too. You know, that's all the focus. It's not the. Oh, I don't think this will fit on the sound that is at the moment. You know, in the scene. You know, no.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. You know, there's a public for even if a sound is stronger in the moment. The scene is big.
Yeah.
There's still people that likes other type of techno, and not because this is hot, everybody don't, you know, everybody move here. No. People still in the what they like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's also beauty into that, because then it becomes like you're not dependent on the trends of the moment. You're not trying to please what the general public wants, and you're releasing something from your own taste, and then, you know, someone will like it for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Many other people would not like it, but then in the end you're doing something that's more true to you.
Yeah. I have a compilation coming out on the label, a big one with a bunch of tracks from different artists on the Legal Alien. Yes. And I had a feedback from an artist from Spain, and it says something like interesting. They were like, oh, really? It's like nice variation of music, like says something like Illegal Alien does.
Yeah.
You know, something like this has like the way the things that Illegal Alien does, the variation of sounds, the different sounds. And he says like he likes it, you know. No. But that's actually, the label is actually known for that. That is between different, and already people know too. You know, like sometimes it's not like, which is fine. Everybody can do whatever they want. But if a sound is powerful at the moment, these labels just choose the same line and go with it, you know, which is fine. And I don't, and I think already people do see it already.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, I see it on the promos. Sometimes the one EP is different than the next one, and you don't get the same feedbacks from the same artists, because they know. But when the right one came from this particular sector of artists that from that sound, they get it or download it. It's an example. So it's they know. It's not like, oh, I don't like the music they're releasing now, boom, unsubscribe, let's say, No.
They trust your longer term journey, and they might not like the specific EP.
Yeah, because they already know, and the people already know that label is very open, and maybe not the next two releases they will like it, but they might like the third one for what they taste,
For me, this is a great approach, right? And I would recommend it to a lot of artists to kind of follow your inner voice, also for your production.
Yes.
Do you feel the same for your own music? You feel free with the art?
Yes, I one of the things I learned in the years is that, and actually it's natural that I like, is to be a more versatile DJ. I like, and I think many of us, it's not a mistake, but of course not a mistake because I don't have the absolute truth, but they focus on one sound and it's totally fine, and they just play that sound, and I say I like it all. I like this sound, I like this sound, I like this sound. So I'm gonna play it all. Yeah. So when I DJ, I try to do my story with the different, like many DJs do right now, like Devious One does. Like there's so many great DJs or band names, that do different in the sessions. They do different sound, different types of techno. Mm-hmm. So I like that. Even sometimes I put or play in the middle or the end something even totally different. Like let's say a high energy track or a house one. So I think at the end, the people who go to a club, they want to have fun, and they all have different tastes. So in my mind, I try to deliver for everybody. Maybe they like or not, but it's just I try. To how do you say to satisfy everyone.
Yeah. When you're DJing.
When I DJ, yeah. And I think I do well. I think,
Yeah. And for your own tracks, is there any of your tracks that you released so far that you feel particularly connected to?
If I what?
If you feel particularly connected with one of your released tracks. So one of the tracks you released, is there any of the tracks you have already released that feels really special to you?
Oh, there's many. There's many tracks that they are special. Yeah. I'm very sensitive to when I work on the music, even with the names. It's everything emotion. It's everything about emotions, depending on how I feel in that time, or every name of it, every of my tracks, or every is emotional. Or the way I feel in the moment. So they're all special. I think some of them got more impact than the others.
Yeah, impact meaning amount of people that.
Yeah, they like it more and it's played a lot more, and some others people don't like it, I guess. And but they're all special. Of course, there's more few meaning ones. Yeah. Like for example, the record I did 4 years ago, I believe it was 5 years ago, with Oscar remix. It's called "Feeding the Apathy." It's dedicated to my son. Wow. The whole record. Even in the cover is my son. It's hard to see him, but he's in the cover. And Oscar doing the remix is make it even special. And he did a fantastic remix. One of the best remixes. Yeah. Sorry. One of the best remixes he done. It was for me. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, it was amazing remix, and that record is so meaningful. So special.
Yeah, because of the inspiration or let's say connection with your son.
Yes,
very personal.
with
plus
Oscar too, which
with
is one
Oscar.
of the. I so much respect for him. He's
Yeah.
a very kind person.
Incredible.
Yes, and also a role model. You know, a role model, of course.
In many ways, I think also like the Paul group or
Totally.
Supers, like what they're doing. Like for me, he and also the rest of the crowd, Hans as well, his manager. Like I think
Yes.
they're all super professional.
Everything they do, you know.
Incredible.
Sometimes, you know, I heard this that you don't see, which I don't agree. People is like in anything, don't look what other people do. Do your own thing,
Yeah.
because then you're like copy or this and that. And I know I do look and see and listen what everybody do because I get inspired by it.
Yeah.
You know, especially how I'm not gonna pay attention what Oscar does for his label as a producer, as a DJ, as a label. You know, of course you learn. You know, of course it's like you like, you know, get great ideas on how things should be done.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, of course, like you said, you know,
Yeah.
seeing Polygroove on all any big label, of course, is like you know, you do great work with Homo Sound,
Yeah.
and I'm sure a lot of also projects that do interviews. They look at what you do to learn, you know, how should I do this? Like, oh, I want to try to do like him or like them, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's all about that. I don't know.
For sure.
It's not copy, but it's all more like we all learn from each other, you know. And
Especially the good examples, so like you're mentioning it, if you find someone that does something really interestingly, or they do it really well, it's a good example for us. Gives inspiration, learnings.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. You release on a lot of like also other interesting labels like Mart, Token, Warm Up as well. Is there a release from those labels, one of your releases that for you was very special and maybe it got a lot of impact, but you didn't think that was gonna get the same impact?
Oh man, of course, it's always. I'm always grateful when I have the opportunity to have a release on these big labels. Of course, Token, it's an amazing label, more than a bunch of labels. But for me, 6-7 years ago, I think, I don't remember when it was, when I released on Warm Up, oh, it was a changing career. It was a changing, I saw the difference, the power that Oscar has, you know, the platform, I mean, that he give to upcoming artists is amazing.
Yeah.
Like he's been releasing a lot of young artists and upcoming artists too in Warm Up. Look, if Oscar wants to release on Warm Up, only big producers, big name producers,
Sure.
he can.
Yeah.
You know, he can, but he gives opportunity to a lot of upcoming producers, and I think when that happened to me, oh, I see that the impact that the release has, and it was a changing, for me,
You
that
felt
release.
like, it was a milestone. And,
Totally, yes. I never thought I was gonna have that impact, let's say like that. But yes, I see people approach me more because of that release.
Yeah.
You know, writing me more. More people start like, let's say, following me, or you know,
Yes.
because of that release. Yeah.
Be interested in your music and your projects.
Exactly, or discover me for that release too. You know,
What's your definition of success?
Oh, definitely not money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because no, I don't think it's money. It's doing what you love and make a living from that. You know, but doing what you love, and in the same thing, like keep reaching, let's say, I like the word dreams. People call it objectives, or people call it goals, but it sounds beautiful. Say dreams, when you keep, you know, dreaming and
Yeah.
making come true and make a living from what you're doing, whatever you do. You know, if you have a restaurant, you know,
Yeah.
there's restaurants that they're small, but they make food with passion and you know and they great. The chef is great, or
Yeah.
you know, doing what he does, and it doesn't make millions, but it makes enough for him,
Yeah.
and he's happy. I think that's success. You know, that's it.
Yeah. I agree. You feel successful?
Yes, yes, yes. I don't have a Lamborghini. You know,
But it doesn't matter, right?
I don't even have a car because I don't even go out. You know, but I am. I think, you know, because I still have that, like, I haven't. I still have many dreams to make, you know, to
Yeah.
accomplish. Let's say labels. Let's say projects. Like, why not one day be part of do scoring for films or something? You know,
It's
something.
exciting.
Oh yeah, it's so exciting. I know it's tough, but you know, you never know. But yeah, but I'm fortunate that I have a living from music, and I think, yeah, I'm successful. I think I don't have too much money. I don't have money, but I'm successful because I'm happy and I have a living of what I do.
For someone who is considering doing something similar to you, like being a producer and DJ, and is maybe at the start of their career, they're making a choice for their life, what would you recommend for them to believe more in themselves and follow their dreams?
Based on my let's say on my story, I think it's just all about the don't give up. I guess, you know, sounds like typical, but yeah, a lot of people make complaints on why they they don't have time to produce because of work or because of this. And when I have the chance to talk to people and say something, I always tell them, like, there's always time.
Yeah.
There is always time. You can have a job, but there's always time to get better on producing, to get better, to study, to get better, to produce. There's always time, even 2 hours, 1 hour, but there's always time. And but that's based on my, because when I started this, I also have a job. But man, I was like, I cannot wait to be home
And make music.
and make music,
Yeah.
or try to make
Yeah,
music,
yeah.
because when I started, of course, it's crazy and funny, because when you start, everything sounds amazing, because you start creating, like, oh, I'm creating this, you know. But when you listen to it, you know, months after, I'm like, oh my God, this sounds bad, you know. But yeah, I was excited. Like, afterward, I can't wait to be, when other people, like, wanted to get out of work to have fun, you know, to go out, to have fun, to whatever they do. It's just okay. But I was excited to go out to my house and start creating. Yeah. So it's that. I think the best advice for people is, like, don't, like, do it focused, be passionate about it. Don't just work hard,
Yeah.
get better, you know, and be patient. Because at the end, there's so many ways to, let's say, made it in the industry. But I only know the hard work way,
Yeah.
you know, because, you know, some people have better knows people, you know, which is always good, and they support him.
Yeah.
And some people don't have the support, and some people, look, honestly, I think for Latin America, it's harder to make it in the industry because it really has to be the music.
Yeah.
It really has to be the music. You need to be you need to be a good producer. Be good at it, so you can get doors open outside in Europe. Let's say,
Yeah.
Because in Europe it's more about also you see everybody. Everybody's there. Like in Berlin, we were talking. Everybody's there. You become friends. They support you. They teach you. You go to their house. Yeah, it's more like, and if you're good, it's more easy to they like give you a push on. Oh, let me talk to my friend from this label, and it's easier.
Yeah.
And for Latin America, because of the language, for us it's important to, first of all, if you want to communicate with the world, to learn English, and also make good music and knock doors.
Yeah.
Send email. Look, one time I remember I said to Expansul.
No.
It was called Spain DJ Expansul. He used to release on Plus 8 and great producer. He's a good friend. I said, oh man, nowadays it's really, really hard to make it. He's like, are you crazy, Ricardo? He's like, nowadays it's so much easy. He's like, back in the days when I wanted to send a demo, I record a cassette.
That's true.
I put it in an envelope, and I ship it to the label anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And I wait months.
Yeah.
And that was hard. Nowadays you have internet, social media, you can write them, you get emails,
You can WhatsApp.
you got SoundCloud, So I think that's the thing that help Latin America, but I think it's a little bit harder and it's a lot of great artists here.
Yeah.
Of course, there is the Jonas Cobb and the Furter, or even in Mexico, Luis Flores, that did great and open boundaries. They really know and support everywhere in the world. But there's some more that I think should have more opportunities. It's tough.
It's tough, yeah.
It's tough. As I was saying about my friend Fixer.
Yes. Yeah.
Man. Rest in peace. He will be very missed.
Yeah.
I miss him personally a lot.
Sorry, man.
But I think he deserved a lot more. He was a great producer, great human being. I think he was the first one who really. Like he signed on the hottest labels in the moment for his sound. Mm-hmm. Nobody done that here. He was able to, boom, release on Eine from Polar Group or Granular or Mind Trip, and so many labels.
Yeah.
And he never played in Europe. That's what I'm saying. Like, the answer maybe is personally, like maybe we need to do it ourselves, like to push more our careers, like. But it's complicated,
It's tough.
But again, like him, many really deserve more opportunities. Mm-hmm. But there's things that we need to work more. Like, for example, the learn English. Let's say, mm-hmm. Of course, will help you open, connect to the world, more. But man, Latin America has so many great producers.
Yeah.
In Argentina, in Colombia, in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like let's say here in Mexico, we got a DJ, one of the pioneers of techno here in Mexico. His name is Sintoma. Or also Jorge Rodriguez, he's here. Of course, over the years, we had some great DJs from here, like Clang plays a Trezor back in the day, you know, the old Trezor, and play Low Parades, or Chrysler is also a DJ from Mexico that they were there, you know.
Yeah.
They are the old generation.
Yes. It's possible. If it was possible before,
Yeah.
it's possible today.
Exactly. But the new generation, we need to figure out something to, so in Europe we can get a little more eyes over here, you know, in Latin America, like, you know, in Colombia, you know, there's so many. I can name some, but you know. But yeah, like Merino, it's an amazing producer, amazing DJ from Colombia, and there's so many, you know, and they do go to Europe, but I think
it takes more effort.
It takes more effort, totally. So, but we need to work on that, you know.
For sure.
It is what it is.
And as you say, I think it takes persistence and people effort, but then eventually, like, you know, hopefully people will get the chance to be.
Yeah, and that's what I guess. That's why I guess we are very romantic.
Yeah.
You know, like I can say that I call it dreams.
Yeah.
Because it is more a romantic approach for us to do those. I'm not saying that for Europeans it's easier. No, but it's all about work too.
Yeah.
But it's more easy to connect to everybody.
Yeah, people closer.
Yeah.
Great. Before we wrap up, I'll ask you some questions. Answer as quick as possible. Don't think so much about it.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, what's the first thing you do when you wake up every morning?
Oh, coffee.
Coffee. What's one thing you are deeply grateful for in your life?
Oh man, to have this career. Yeah. I don't know if I could call it a career, right? Because I didn't study all this.
It's a dream.
But yeah, it's a dream. Like to live this, man. To have a label, to make music, to DJ, to meet people, all that. So grateful for that, man. Really. And man, health.
Yeah.
You know, like my dear friend. You know, health. I was fortunate to see him before. Yeah. And he told me that. He said, "Oh, you have no idea how I wish I walk right now. To walk right now, to pick up my phone. You know, it really touched. Yeah. It really touched. So it was a lesson for me. Witness that, you know.
To be grateful for also for the small things, for walking.
Totally, man. Totally. You know, listening to him saying health. If you don't have health, man, I mean, what will you do?
Yeah.
You know.
Everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What is something that drives you in life? What drives you in life?
Oh man, like, of course, the family. You know, the family always. The love for what I do, you know, keeps me going. You know, having my new studio, like I told you. Exciting. Oh my God, it's the new. I go up there and I go, oh, I feel it now. The new place. Every day is excited. Like excites me to keep creating, to keep knowing more people, to keep knowing more artists. Everything is excited for me every day.
And if you had to choose one closing track for the rest of your life when you're DJing, what track would you choose?
Oh my God. Not really closing, because I close with it, or sometimes I play it in the middle, but I think only one track. Well, Blue Monday, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, Blue Monday. New Order. Yes, totally. He always work, man. He always work. You know, even the new generations of people, you know, when the young guys, the young crowd, they know the track. You know, they heard it, they know it, and they're like, they always it's always excited when they listen. You can feel it, you know, the energy from them, and it's a great track to play.
Track. Always works, yeah.
Yes.
Like evergreens.
Yes.
And what is it? So would you rather play in front of 10,000 people, strangers, people you don't know, or 20 close friends in a house party?
Oh, I think both are incredible experience, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you play for 10,000 people that you don't know, but you're sharing what you do, you know, you're sharing the art you do, it's always...
It's connecting.
Yeah, it will be amazing. And also playing for 20 people close to you, friends. So it's both things are great, yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
If you were stuck on a deserted island for a week, you can choose one artist to be with. They can be dead or alive, or a musician or no musician. Who would you choose?
David Bowie.
David Bowie? Yeah?
Yes.
And why?
Oh, man, it's so inspiring for me.
Uh-huh.
David Bowie has been the artist that inspired me the most. But you know, like if I was in an island with him, it won't be all about like the music. You know, it would be like the experiences. You know, it's crazy how. Yeah. Imagine what he done in all those years. You know, just tell me stories. You know, tell me stories. Let's just tell me stories. Yeah, let's put a fire. Mm-hmm. Just tell me your story. It will be fantastic.
It will be definitely inspiring.
Yeah.
A week well spent.
Oh yeah.
And what's one guilty pleasure track of yours?
Guilty pleasure track.
A track you would never play out, but that you would listen to when you're home alone.
From myself.
Or from someone else, like any guilty pleasure track. Yeah.
Oh my God, there's so many, man. I'm actually shy to say. There's so many guilty pleasures, man. In Spanish and in English. Oof, man, I don't know. Yeah. The one track, I don't know. There's so many.
Okay, we skip this. What's Ricardo, what's one project or more that you are excited about for the future? What are your projects?
Scoring will be, you know, a thing that I really wanted to do one day. Mm-hmm. Ready? I don't think so.
Not yet.
No, no. I need to learn more, I guess, and study and learn. But man, definitely is something I. When I don't do techno, sometimes I do more like electronic approach. Mm-hmm. You know, more like different experimental electronic musical. Which I'm not a musician. I know the basic, but I believe I got the ear, you know. So I do things like not long ago I make a track, and I'm like, oh my God, this will fit perfect in a Stranger Things scene. You know what I mean? Like that.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. One day getting to scoring will be amazing. But, you know, need to learn a lot more to do that. But will be nice. Will be definitely nice, yes.
Yeah. Fingers crossed it will happen pretty soon.
What was that?
Fingers crossed it will happen when you're ready.
Yeah, yeah. So one day will happen.
And last question is a closing tradition that we have at Home Sound, which is, what question shall we ask the next guest?
What question you should ask to the next guest?
Without knowing who they're going to be.
Let's see. What is the right way? The right way. No, to be like knowing for your work, successful as a DJ producer. Okay. What is the right way? Yeah. Because I don't know if there's so many ways to make it, but I'm curious to see what people think about what should be the right way.
Yeah, interesting. Yes. There's a question for you from one of the previous guests. Why did you choose this path in life?
This path,
Yeah.
man, music. I think since kid, I loved the '80s. I loved everything, and when I said to myself, "Oh, I want to learn how to do this," it's just the music. I love music so much. I used to play drums a little bit, bass, or sing, which is one of my frustrated dreams because I wanted to be a singer and I couldn't make it. Maybe I wasn't that good. Yeah, maybe next life. But the music, man, totally music. I wanted to. I was like, I want to do this. How they do this? Yeah. You know, how they do this? How do they make beats? You know. So, yeah, then that's what I choose it because I'm so passionate about music that I wanted to do it. I wanted to try to do it.
Yeah. Very happy then to know you're doing it. Very well.
Yeah, man. Man, we still. It's every day is learning. Yeah. I think. Look, I've been doing this for 18 years, 19 years, I believe. No, wait, for 2005, almost 20 years.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and to this day, I still believe when I finish a track, oh, this is the best thing. I'm getting better. You know what I mean? I'm getting better. So I think every day I love myself. I learn every day. Interest. Yeah. I think keeps moving, keep emotional. You know, so every day is a learning day.
Music, and continuing on your dream.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Ricardo, this has been Chapter. Thank you. Good to get to know you.
Listen, thank you. I really appreciate the invitation.
Pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for being here.